What's up guys, it's Alex, back with another recent Vinyl Finds video. I believe we're on 26, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it'll be in the title anyway, so I don't know why I'm saying correct me if I'm wrong. Of course I'll correct myself. I'm going to speed through some of these because I have a lot to get through. So instead, I'm not going to do any small talk, I'm just going to get straight into these. Here we go, starting off with the 6 7-inch singles I picked up, and they're all reggae singles. So let's get into these, starting off with Teddy Brown, What Greater Love, backed with Lady Love. Burning Spear, A Hole We Suffer, backed with Children of Today. Eddie Grant, Living on the Front Line, backed with Do You Feel My Love. Of course this is a double A side, so gotta pick that up. Johnny O. Jenny, Dub Street, fantastic song, backed with Dub Street version. Ken Parker, Say Wonderful Things, backed with It's True. And then Ku Klux Klan by Steel Pulse, backed with a dub version. So breezing through those quite quickly because you're about to find out my pile of stuff that I have to get through here. Look at that stack. Quite a big one. Starting off with some 12-inch singles. No hip-hop 12 inches, just soul 12 inches. I've been in a sort of soul mood. In and out of my soul mood. But I had to pick up these 12s. Just because I saw them there. This is Sweetest Taboo by Sade. It's backed with You're Not the Man, but it's got the extended version of Sweetest Taboo on the Epic label. Good stuff there. You're My Last Chance, backed with I'm Available. This is 52nd Street. Really good song, actually, really good song. And then Jeff Lorber with Karen White, Facts of Love. Great 12-inch. Love those, so had to give them their shout, their due. If you're into soul or you're trying to get into soul, all three of those I would highly recommend. But let's move on with the albums, starting off with the one soundtrack I picked up. Been trying to get into some soundtracks as of late, and this is one I picked up because it got good reviews, an American pressing of this though. Exodus soundtrack. Don't know much about it, I haven't seen the film, but I figured I'd pick it up anyway, just because it seems like it would be amazing. I don't know. I liked film scores, I guess, and that one can't go wrong with it. RCA Victor label there. Nice little pickup. So there we go. Next album is one I see on and off in the VC. It's Traveling Wilburys' first album. Of course, you've got Bob Dylan, you've got Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, George Harrison and Roy Orbison all on this album. There's the 5 of them. What a super group. Of course, unfortunately lost a few of them now, so there we go. Wilbury record label, custom label. I do quite like that. But yeah, I see it on and off. I've listened to a couple of tracks but have not listened to this all the way through, so figured I'll pick it up, give it a chance. There we go. Next up is another one that's not really like me to pick an album up like this, but this is Wings Over America. I'm not a big Beatles fan, but I do like Wings and I do like George Harrison's solo stuff, so I had to pick up a Wings album. Finally get some Wings in my collection. Triple live album though. I've heard people say that this isn't the best place to start with Wings, but I don't know, I quite enjoy live albums. Apparently this one's meant to be really good. And it's got both Live and Let Die and Blackbird on here, which are two of my favourite tracks by McCartney. Has all the original winners. I'm not going to pull them all out because, like I said, I'm pushed for time. And then we have the labels there. I think they're all I think all 6 labels are different on this album, but we'll leave that for another time. But yeah, Wings Over America, great album. Next up, another band I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, it's Hard by The Who, but I've really been enjoying Eminence Front by this group. As much of a not huge fan of this band as I am, Eminence Front really caught my attention, so I had to pick up this album for that particular reason. Of course, on the red Polydor label. I don't know why I had to show that, because it's such a common label, but there you go. It's Hard by The Who. Next up is this band's second album. I'm slowly getting back into this band. I was into this band quite a bit, and then I sort of drifted away from them and just getting back into them now, but this is Foreigner. This is their second album, Double Vision. Of course, the album with Hot Blooded on it. So, gotta get that on the Custom Atlantic label. Good stuff there. Do quite like Foreigner, so figured I would just pick up their albums when I see them at a nice price, and I saw this one and figured I'd get it. Next album is by a band that I'm still on the fence about, personally. This is a band that people either love or they hate, and this is Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I picked up their first album a while back and was still on the fence about it. Well, I still have to give this album another listen through to just make a decision on if I like this band or not. I'm heading more towards the liking them end of it than the hating them end. I do quite like the gatefold on this one though. Like that and then like that. Really good stuff. Or decent stuff on this from this band on the Manticore label. So a later issue of this, but that's fine. But yeah, there we go. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Next we have a metal album. I don't pick up a lot of metal albums, as you may know if you are a regular to the channel, but I had to get this one. It's Rising by Rainbow. Excuse this bit on here, that's there from back in the days, from I don't even know when. But yeah, 76 of course, the year on this. Probably my favourite Rainbow album, I would argue. I could have picked up a few more maybe, but this is the one I went with. Of course, red Polydor label again. So there we go. Good album by Rainbow. Good stuff. Another one I'm still kind of on the fence about. This is I, Robot by the Alan Parsons Project. The only reason I picked this up is because this guy here, Jay-Z, sampled the song Don't Let It Show on his most recent album. So I had to pick it up for that reason. I know that's not a very good reason, but there it is. Yeah. Inside the gatefold there. The spine is kind of falling apart there, but it's fine. It doesn't matter too much. Lyrics. And this is on the Arista label. Nice stuff there. Again, like I said, still have to go back and give this album a few more listens, but from what I've heard so far, it's decent. Reggae album. I'm not too familiar with this album by this artist, but I do know this artist has some really good stuff, so I figured I'd just pick it up anyway. Just Cool by Yellow Man. You hardly see his albums around, so when you see him, pick him up, because he's a very good reggae artist. They're on the Guidance label, I believe that is. Yeah, American pressing of this album. Good stuff, actually. Yellow Man is probably one of my favorites at the moment, and while the cover's not in that good a shape, the vinyl is in decent shape, so I figured I'll pick it up, just because you don't really see Yellow Man albums that often. Plus, I really like the cover anyway. So if that's not reason enough, there you go. Next album up is probably my favourite album by this band. That's Baby I'ma Want You by Bread. Yes, I do really like Bread. The songs Baby I'ma Want You and Everything I Own are on here. They're the two big hits off this album. And then we've also got Games of Magic, Just Like Yesterday, I Don't Love You. Just some great stuff by Bread on this album. Do enjoy their stuff quite a bit, so figured I'll pick this album up and give it a full listen. There it is on the Butterfly Electra label. If you could see that, I'm sure you could see that pretty well anyway. But yeah, and there it is. Maybe I'm Gonna Want You by Bread. Next up, a classic album I haven't listened to all the way through, and people were hating on me for it, so I had to get it. That's Graceland by Paul Simon. Yep, finally picked up a copy of this. Came with the original inner with all the lyrics. And there we have the Warner Brothers label. So, picked it up. Haven't given it still have not given it a full listen to yet, but I'm sure I'll get round to it at some point. And while we're speaking of Paul Simon, I also have some Simon and Garfunkel. This is Bookends. Now the sleeve is for an American pressing, but the vinyl is actually a British pressing, so I don't know what happened there. But yeah, probably my favourite Simon and Garfunkel album. I haven't given them all a listen, but from what I've listened to so far, this is probably my favourite. I really like the song A Hazy Shade of Winter from this album. There on the orange CBS label. Had to get that. And another one I have to listen to all the way through, but like it so far. Some soul. Like I said, I've been in a soul mood on and off recently, and this is Denise Williams with This Is Niecy. Good album. Not going to say it's great. It does have a couple of weak points on it, but still good. Orange and yellow CBS label, so a little bit later on CBS, but yeah, really, really good stuff. I do quite like this quite a bit, so give that a shout. And then some Percy Sledge. This is I'll Be Your Everything, an American pressing of this. Really good stuff, actually. Do enjoy Percy Sledge quite a bit. Of course, his big track was When a Man Loves a Woman, but that is not on this album. And this is on Capricorn Records. So, yeah, there we go. Next up, a band I've been talking about quite a bit with some of my fellow VC members in the comment sections of their videos. This is Chicago. Of course, this is Chicago 6. The Vinyl Verse actually mentioned this when he did a response to my top 10 album closing tracks. He mentioned the track, what was it? Feeling Stronger Every Day, I think is the track. But yeah, great stuff. I do quite like Chicago. One of those bands I wish just got showed more here in the VC. There it is. Great. Yeah, Feeling Stronger Every Day is the track on this album, so got to give Chicago a shout, just because I feel like they need to be shown more in the VC, so there it is, Chicago 6. And the final album I'm going to show you guys is, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this album anyway, but this is Foals with Holy Fire. Easily their best album. My Number and Late Night are the two tracks on here I enjoyed the most, I would say. Really good stuff, actually. Has a custom Warner Brothers label. But this is easily, out of the band's work, this is easily their best stuff. Hands down. So I'll insert a couple of needle drops here. I'm not going to do this for everything because everything else here you should know, but if you don't know this, here's a couple of needle drops. So enjoy. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning back into the channel, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.